Hey, hi, hello. My name is Emily, and thanks so much for hanging out with us on the Today Needs You podcast. This is where we have the chance to chat about all the things from feelings and friendships to our favorite sneakers and our favorite Bible verses. We're going to tackle it all. I'm super pumped about today's episode, so let's dive in together.
There is so much to talk about comparison. It can be overwhelming, so we're going to focus today together just on a few things that are high level, big picture, but that can hopefully help you in specific situations that people have shared with me to help me navigate comparison. Because update, feeling jealous of someone else, or like you are less valuable than someone else, or sometimes even like feeling like you're better than someone else. Struggling with that, dealing with that does not go away. So I want to, sometimes that can sound like a bummer, but also know that like if you use the tools in the Bible, find community, partner together, cheer each other on, it gets a lot easier. So it may not go away, but I want to encourage you that it does get easier to manage with certain, and of course, it ebbs and flows. Some seasons I find myself being more comparison-y than other seasons, and I have to refocus and not get caught up in it. But I wanted to talk about I love finding how things that are going on around us can oftentimes come back to scripture, come back to what's in the Bible. And so you may have heard the saying, I don't know if you have, but you may have heard the saying, comparison is the thief of joy. And what I love about that is that the Bible has been saying that for a long time. And it is, I think that rings true for people, because if I'm spinning my wheels and spending so much time comparing myself to others, whether that's thinking highly of myself based on how I'm comparing myself to others, or thinking less of myself when comparing myself to others, no matter what it looks like, I am less joyful. It's harder to feel good about things. It's harder to feel like I can get better at something that I'm struggling with, or harder to think that I belong in whatever environment I'm in, whether it's the class I'm in, the team I'm on, the group I'm in, the Bible study, the small group, the church group, the Devo group, whatever it looks like. I think it can be hard to be happy and feel good when we get caught up comparing ourselves to others. I don't know if you're anything like me, but whenever I see something talk about what not to do, I'm like, okay, what do I do instead? How do I not do something? That is sometimes really hard for my brain. And what I love about the Bible, we're going to go to Galatians, which is in the New Testament, and I'm looking at the New Living Translation, or the NLT. You may have a different translation or version, but Galatians chapter 6, verses 4 and 5, my mom showed me these verses, and I cannot get them out of my head. I seriously read them every single day because I can get very hung up on comparing and on determining if I'm working hard or doing a good job, or wearing something cool based on comparison, instead of focusing on what God tells me is good and what people that God has put in my life as examples and role models and leaders, what they say to focus on and put my attention on. So, when struggling with comparison, go to Galatians chapter 6, verses 4 and 5. It says, "Pay careful attention to your own work, for then you will get the satisfaction of a job well done, and you won't need to compare yourself to anyone else, for we are each responsible for our own conduct." I love that. What I love about this verse is I just want to feel good. I just want to feel proud of the work I'm doing, proud of how I carry myself at a party, at a hangout, at a lunch, in class, at church, during my games, during my events, whatever it may look like. I want to feel good about it. I want to feel good about myself. And what I love is this is saying you won't need to compare yourself to anyone else. So comparison gets thrown to the side if you pay careful attention to your own work. And then you will feel satisfied. How awesome is that? I think that is a huge way that comparison is the thief of joy, is if we are not feeling satisfied and we're always striving for more or striving for different or striving for better or striving for more impressive, we can't experience peace and joy nearly as easily. And so what this says is pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to how you carry yourself, your own work. And then if you go to verse 5, for we are each responsible for our own conduct. Conduct is just how you carry yourself. Conduct is, what I love about it is that it's all encompassing. It includes the words you say, the work you do, your actions, which, as much as I don't love to admit it, my conduct includes my facial expressions. I'm not a fan of that, but if I take responsibility for my own conduct, I can experience the joy that comes from satisfaction of a job well done. And I can feel comfortable in my own skin, and I can feel like, okay, yes, I may be different than the people around me, and there are good things about that. I am my own job. I have to worry about me. I have to think about me. I have to pay careful attention to my own work. And then I'll feel good. Feel the satisfaction of a job well done. And you won't need to compare yourself to anyone else. I love when the Bible, I feel like the Bible so rarely only tells us what not to do. There are times in the Bible where it says, do not do this. A lot of times it's paired with what to do instead. So how do I not compare myself to others? Oh, I pay careful attention to my own work. And then I get the satisfaction of a job well done. I just think that's so cool. I want to give you some practical tips when struggling with comparison. One, remembering that today needs you. That's why we say it, because God made you on purpose, with purpose, for a purpose, and you matter, and today needs you. That is true of every single person. So remind yourself of that. Write it on your mirror with dry erase marker and parent permission, but write it on your mirror. Today needs you. Read verses like Galatians 6, 4, and 5. You may have your own. I also love reading the Psalms where it talks about how God designed each and every one of us and knows and cares for each and every one of us so, so deeply. Also, sometimes we look to examples of people and learn from them. So you can also kind of like pivot from comparison of like, oh, I wish I had that. I wish I had that. I wish I were more like that. And say like, oh, what is it about that I like? What am I drawn to in this person that makes me wish I were more like them? And then channel it into who you are and mix and match. Be like, oh, I really love the clothes this person is wearing. How can I make that my own? Or I'm going to use one piece of their outfit as a starting point and then build an outfit around it. Whenever you're impressed by someone, let yourself be impressed and then peel back the layers of why do I like that? Why am I drawn to that? Why do I see that and think highly of it? And apply it to yourself. Peel back the layers and be like, oh, it's because she's kind. It's because she's encouraging. It's because this person works really hard at what they're doing or has relationships that look like they're doing really well. Whatever that may look like. And also, I think when it comes to fitting in, temptations, body image, popularity, whatever the topic may be where you're struggling with comparison, I want you to know that it's not wrong. It's hard, and I'm sorry, and it's real, and the feelings are so, so real. And that is why we can come to the Bible and know, okay, I have value, I have purpose, I matter, just like everyone around me has value, has purpose, and matters. And I can lean in to who God made me to be, to the things that make me excited, to the things that I care about, to the things that I want to get up and do something about, to the things that make me laugh, to the things that make me feel connected to other people, to the things that I love. Whatever those things are, lean in and know that there are pieces of you that relate to a lot of other people. But when all the pieces come together, only you are you. And when you get caught comparing, remind yourself that today needs you. And go back to Galatians 6, 4, and 5 and remember, okay, I can focus on my own work, on my own conduct, what is my responsibility, and that will fill plenty of my brain. There will not be nearly enough room for me to get caught up comparing myself to others. And I will get the satisfaction of a job well done.
Thanks so much for listening while we're just getting started. If you want to stay plugged into this community, like, subscribe, and let us know what you'd like to hear more about, who you would like to hear from by shooting us an email at info@allthethings.community.